going on YouTube? It's your boy Jason Plays, back up in the jank with another video. And on today's video we got two topics. One topic being Grand Theft Auto Trilogy Definitive Edition and the God of War series. The 2018 game is coming to PC. Now we'll start with the GTA Trilogy. Now the GTA Trilogy consists of 3 games. That's Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. Now it's set for this game to drop on 11/11 this year, and that's digital only on 11/11, and then on December the 7th the physical versions are supposed to be released. Now another thing to note about the release of these games is that right now, as far as we can see, you can only buy the game as a triple pack, but with the exception of Game Pass, where San Andreas will be available immediately on the digital release on Game Pass, and then on the PlayStation side, Grand Theft Auto 3 will show up on the PS Now service on December the 7th. Now this triple pack bundle is set to retail for $60, and that's on the Xbox consoles, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and PC. Now just note that these games are about 3 generations old, and they came out in the PS2 era. Now they will have some enhancements, which are like high-res textures, advanced lighting, environmental upgrades, and increased draw distances so you can see further into the vista. Also, another thing to know about this triple pack is that these games are not being remade, so it's not a remake, it's more like a remaster. So pretty much it's like the original code thrown into a new engine, which is they're all being built on the Unreal Engine, which we probably could understand why, because the Nintendo Switch is also compatible with the Unreal Engine, and you know, it's the original code enhanced with modern tech basically. And no, these games won't be running on the GTA 5 engine. Now a third thing that's important to note about these particular games is that they never appeared on a Nintendo platform in history. So these 3 games coming to a Nintendo platform for the first time is legendary, especially the Nintendo Switch, because it's doing so well. And long-time Nintendo only fans, like 2 of my friends that I know very well, these may be the first time that they have access to play these games. And for these games to be on the console choice that they prefer, this is pretty big. Now I will say one thing that I hope is true regarding these games coming to the Nintendo Switch is that Rockstar chooses to use the 32GB cartridge, where you would be able to fit all 3 games without having to download one of the games from the eShop. They did say that, well, it is leaked that the game size is probably around 25GB, and Nintendo does have 32GB cartridges available, all being that they're more expensive. So most companies usually, when they release large games on the Nintendo Switch, for example like Doom Eternal, they'll give you a portion of the game on the cartridge, and the rest of the game you have to download. The only game that I could think of off the top that is a large game that's all on one cartridge is The Witcher 3. Now for me, I'll probably wait until the physical version of the Nintendo Switch version launches, even though you'll have 4K visuals on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X or whatever. But being, like I said earlier, that since none of these games have ever been on the Nintendo platform, I think it would be cool to own a physical copy in cartridge form for the Nintendo Switch. So I'll be waiting until December to pick up this title. So let me know how you feel about the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy Definitive Edition being launched in present day, and do you plan on picking up these titles, and what consoles do you plan on picking up these titles on? Let me know in the comments below. Now on to the second topic of discussion. We got God of War 2018 coming to PC. Now Sony dropped the news on the PlayStation blog saying that the God of War is coming out to PC on January 14th. 2022. So far, that God of War 2018 has sold 19.5 million copies on PS4. Now, the PC version will include graphical and performance improvements, of course, and it will also have support for widescreen monitors, which is like 21:9. It will also have support for the DualShock 4 controller, as well as the DualSense controller and other controllers as well. So you can assume that the Xbox PC controllers will also be compatible, and it will also get keyboard support as well. Now, this news is significant because it has Sony fanboys crying. Now, let me backtrack a little bit. Sony fanboys used to joke the Xbox fans about not having true exclusives, and saying that because a lot of the Xbox titles are on PC, basically another platform, that they aren't exclusive to Xbox, and that's why Xbox is having a hard time competing with the PlayStation platform, because traditionally God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Uncharted, those type of games were only accessible on the PlayStation platforms. But in recent history, we've seen that the Horizon series has made it to the PC, which did very well. Also, now we got God of War being announced for PC, and we also have the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection announced for PC, which is also coming in 2022. So now we're in a position where a lot of Sony's big time exclusives are now available on PC. So what do the fanboys have to say to that? And I'm pretty sure if these games do well on PC, which we clearly see that when Horizon was added to the Steam library and things of that nature, it shot up to in the top 5 of the high selling games for that particular time, which means that Sony definitely has people on the PC side that would like to experience their titles. And why wouldn't they? I mean, the PC market is larger than the console market as far as how many people out there play PC games. So why wouldn't you want more people to be able to have those experiences, as well as it could possibly grow the PlayStation fan base by them releasing some of their big games that are 2 and 3 years old on PC, and then when the newer version of the game drops, that those people may go ahead and buy a PlayStation just to play the newer version of the game, just like God of War. So if they drop God of War 2018 on the PC, and then they drop Ragnarok sometime in 2022 as well, if those people who never got to play God of War are floored by the quality of the game on PC, they may turn around and buy a PlayStation 5. So technically it's a win-win for Sony, and it's also a win for gamers. And I have no idea what other franchises that Sony will bring to the PC next, but I assume that mostly all of their blockbuster franchises will eventually move on to PC. And so I don't know what the Sony fanboys can cry about now, because Sony and Microsoft pretty much are on the same playing field. The only difference is that Microsoft is releasing their exclusives at this point day and date on PC as well as console at the same time, and who knows, PlayStation might also get to that point as well. So how do you feel about God of War going to PC, even though it's about 3 years old now? How do you feel about that? Do you think that is a right move for Sony, or do you think they should keep their games exclusive to the platform only? Now that's all I got today for this video, and if you like the content, please hit the like button, share, subscribe with a friend, and remember, play games, not brands. I'm gone.